Hey guys, how you doing? I figured I would let you all know we are doing a Patreon where we are offering early access. So if you want to check that out, feel free to click down in the description down below. There may not be an annotation on the screen for it. It's because YouTube's getting rid of annotations, but hey, that's how it goes. So if you want to check that out, feel free to click that, and I'll see you there.
I mentioned a name to you.
Mm-hmm.
This name, I think it will be revered for years and years to come in terms of filmmaking.
Okay.
Edgar Wright.
Oh, yeah.
Edgar frickin' Wright. Okay. For those of you unaware of who Edgar Wright is, I beseech thee to go out and watch several films of his.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, Shaun of the Dead.
Damn good.
Number 2, Hot Fuzz.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, man, that movie's so good.
Number 4, The World's End, which I thought it was the
of the three flavors cornetto.
Yeah, which is Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and World's End.
Yeah, which that was Edgar Wright's term for that.
Yeah,
trilogy, like that set of 3 movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think The World's End is the weakest of the 3.
Yeah,
but
it's
still really good. Yeah,
still a great movie.
Yeah, it's just how do you top Shaun of the Dead? How do you top Hot Fuzz?
It's hard to.
Yeah,
especially because here's the thing. Another thing that I think took away from it was that Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead were released so close together.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, the combining allure of both, you had Shaun of the Dead, probably one of the funniest zombie films ever, and it was a parody of zombie films.
Oh, yeah.
It was a parody, but it also had a good story that you could follow and you could get invested in. And then you had the likes of Hot Fuzz, which is a parody of all the big budget police movies that from here in the U.S.
Oh yeah,
and it features 2 people at their best in terms of comedic acting. Nick Frost and Simon Pegg, but it also features a director at his peak, at probably one of his peaks as well, because of just how detailed and layered every shot is.
And that's just Edgar Wright in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Like, you can go back and watch an Edgar Wright movie, and even after having seen it 5, 6, 7 times, you go back and rewatch it and you find something that you missed.
Yeah.
Every shot that he does is so chock full, like stuffed to the brim with detail.
They're stuffed to the brim, but it's not distracting to what's going on in the scene.
Yeah, it's perfectly done.
Yeah.
Like a detail that I think a lot of people didn't notice. So in Scott Pilgrim, you very rarely, if ever, saw any of the actors blink.
This is true. This is very true.
And he did that specifically to recreate sort of the conditions of the comic, because nobody blinks in a print comic.
Well, they do, but it's usually it's separate. The shots are separated.
And it's done for specific dramatic effect.
Yeah.
And so in most of the shots, no one blinks.
There you go. And you see, just like Hot Fuzz, I went back and watched Hot Fuzz, and
the whiteboard.
Yeah, the whiteboard. I talked about that at one point. The whiteboard behind the one constable's head, who's thick-headed. He's a bit of a dum-dum. But behind him on a board, there's a circle in the middle that's like a halo over his head, and there's all these lines that are coming to it, and on the outskirts of these lines are explanative
descriptors.
Yeah, descriptors, and it's just like thick-headed, stupid, dumb, and it's just like, and they're all right there, and it's just like, wow.
And if you didn't look closely at that scene, you would never have known.
Yeah.
It doesn't detract at all from the scene, but when you notice it, it makes the scene that much better.
Yeah, and then there's also an awesome cameo by Bill Bailey as the desk sergeant who's just sitting there, and all of a sudden, like he's like, "Oh no, nobody tells me nothing," and his brother walks in, and he's just like, "So what's going on?" "I don't know, nobody tells me nothing."
Yeah,
it's brilliant stuff.
Yeah,
and also the scenes that are, you know, how he films things, like little close-ups of different things, like things in action, like like case in point in Hot Fuzz, a guy a guy using the bathroom and everything, you know, you see like a close-up of the doorknob opening, and then him walking in,
yeah, and those
doorknob
quick
closing.
cuts,
those little real quick cuts of like the finer details.
Yeah,
yeah. It's absolutely hilarious.
And you know exactly what is happening. And then it's just like, you know exactly what's happening, but they don't show you any of the mundane. They make, like, you see that shot of him going to the bathroom, and you're just like, this would be rather dull if I watched it normally.
Yeah.
Also a little creepy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you know, but Edgar Wright, you don't lose interest.
No, you don't.
You don't tune out.
Yeah, and
because the cinematography is exciting.
Yeah, and so far here in the U.S., he's had a rocky start. But there's a movie that he's releasing here soon. It's got a hell of a cast.
It really does.
This is a trailer for it called the official TeKillYa trailer.
Yep.
This is Baby Driver. Let's get to it.
And once again, teaser right before the trailer.
Yeah, a little.
Which is weird.
It is weird.
Yeah.
Baby Driver is beyond effing awesome. Rolling Stone. Hey.
Yeah.
Find something funky on there. Just in case we gotta rip this joint up.
So here's the thing. I'm looking at some of the country's finest thugs, and of course, young Mozart in a go-kart over there.
Mozart in a go-kart. It's so good.
Really good.
People love great bank robbery stories, so let's give them something bold and brazen to talk about over their lattes.
What's you listening to? Oh, let me check.
TeKillYa!
Yep. This is well done.
Very.
Bananas, dog.
Thank you, Gwen Stefani.
TeKillYa.
Well, aren't you the lucky one?
That's right. You tell him, baby.
Vroom, vroom, motherfucker.
That's some Oscar shit right there.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're damn right.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
My words exactly.
I'm sorry, ma'am. That's so good. Man.
TeKillYa.
I know I said this when we watched the first trailer for this, but when I heard the title, I was like, wait, they're making something else like, what was it? Boss Baby or?
Oh, yeah. Because I've seen that. I've seen that here recently. Like, you know, there's like all these like movies that are incorporating babies in and everything. It's just like,
yeah, it's weird.
Like, whoa.
It's real weird.
But now we've got this. We've got this Baby Driver, which looks friggin' awesome.
Really good, yeah.
And okay, we talked about, you know, Edgar Wright having a troubled past of getting in big in the United States. You know, he's huge in England. Massive.
Oh, yeah.
He's considered like one of the best directors in England. But here in the States, his films have always fallen on either deaf ears or just pure lack of advertisement. Because
I think part of the problem is the British style of humor.
This is true.
Like it's very dry humor. There's not like it's fast. There's no real reaction from the people saying it. The reaction all comes from the audience. Come here.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very, very true. So for instance, dry humor can be used in American films as well. Case in point, Die Hard.
Yeah,
but
Die Hard's the big one.
Die Hard's really the big one that has really good dry humor that
and
depends
it went
on
over
its audience. It got over really well.
Yeah.
But the problem was it couldn't maintain people's interest. You see, it maintained people's interest, but Edgar Wright's films haven't been able to maintain people's interest. I guess because of the difference of its presentation.
Yeah, I mean it's a very different style. And I mean, even in Die Hard, it wasn't all dry humor. There were still points where, you're like, that's really funny, where it's a more American style humor.
Yeah. And
I think now with the world becoming smaller due to the internet, the accessibility of everything,
it's really.
I think a lot of people are getting more used to that style of humor.
It's tearing down the cultural barriers.
Yes,
and gosh, it's a hard thing to really just to really grasp because of just how different things can be.
Okay, let me ask you a question, and this is. I apologize in advance because this may be a more difficult question than I anticipate.
Go ahead.
Okay. What is the funniest thing that you've seen in an American film? Like, what comes to mind? Now, film, TV show, anything. American media. See, this is tricky.
That's tricky with any media.
It's going to be much easier, I think, with my next question.
What's that?
Well, the next question is going to be the funniest thing you can think of in British media. Because I have a feeling the one you're going to pick for British media is, that's it! I'm going to give you a right good thrashing!
No, that's okay.
That's
the Faulty Towers, Faulty Towers car thrashing. That's very funny.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of other really funny stuff. I mean, the whole catalog of Monty Python, Blackadder.
Oh man.
There was some stuff in Doctor Who that happened that was very, very funny.
Oh yeah.
There's been a lot of stuff. I mean, case in point, in terms of American film and American television series, I gotta say the thing that I find funniest in a lot of ways is juxtaposition, just the pure click over. I find that stuff absolutely hilarious.
Just like it's an immediate hard cut to something that's completely unrelated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The juxtaposition. It's just like these people who are. It's just like Okay, to me, this was during the funniest time of Family. The peak years of Family Guy.
Yep. Brian
and Stewie were in a hotel room. It was a seedy hotel, and all of a sudden they're trying to sleep, and Stewie, and then all of a sudden it just cuts over, and you hear a drug deal going on in the next room. It's like, you got the stuff? Yeah, I got the stuff. You get the money? Now, I'm not showing you the money until I see the stuff. Well, I'm not showing you the stuff until I see the money. And Stewie's like, oh, for God's sakes, I'll never get any sleep. And all of a sudden he knocks on the wall, and he goes, he's wearing a wire! What? You son of a... And you see bullet holes come over top of their heads, and then Stewie just goes... falls back to sleep. It was absolutely hilarious. One of the funniest things.
I've never seen that.
You've never seen that?
I've never seen that.
That's one of
bit.
the funniest things in Family Guy.
That's pretty
ever.
great.
I know, it was hilarious, and it was complete and total juxtaposition because here's these two people trying to get some sleep. All of a sudden, drug deal. And Stewie knowing the quickest way to resolve this is just say he's wearing a wire because eventually they're just going to shoot each other and it's going to be over.
Yeah.
Because if the deal continues and say someone calls the cops are going to come and then they're never going to get any sleep because of that.
Right.
So it's just you know what? Screw this. He's wearing a wire.
Yeah.
And then it was honestly that's one of the funniest things to me.
And then British, it's going to be something that's structured completely differently.
Yeah.
You're going to be. It's like, quick wit, nothing that's really like.
Case in point, the Black Knight scene.
Yeah, the Black Knight scene. It's absurd, but it's quick wit, and there is no reaction to it whatsoever. It's treated as though it was completely normal, and you just go on.
Well, a comedian who does that a lot. Bo Burnham.
Yes.
Bo Burnham does that a lot.
You're 100% correct.
His deadpan delivery is some of the best. I mean, he's just, to him, he says normal stuff. It's just like him reading that book. He read a book. He's like, Diary of a Slut. Or it's like, I fuck sluts. I wrote this poem down. It's called I Fuck Sluts. I Fuck Sluts. And he's reading this off of here, and it's like all these rhymes like perfectly like sequenced together, and he's reading it like it's nothing. And he's like, I don't know why I'm reading this book is blank, and he puts it on top of his head. He's just like, I know it by heart. Just pure, just that.
Yeah, and the audience is never given a beat to recover.
Exactly.
It's very rapid fire. It's very dry, and the only reaction comes from the audience.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at Family Guy, there's always a brief moment to catch your breath.
Yeah.
And then you go back into it.
Yeah, there's always a cutaway to like something else right after the comedy happens to progress the story a little bit more.
Yeah.
But you see, in the case
like,
in point with the Black Knight, the story progresses no matter what.
Yeah, it's a part of the story. Mm-hmm. It happens, and then they just keep going.
And that's why Family Guy, to me, that's one of the funniest Family Guy moments. But you notice, it's not what Family Guy's comedy is famous for. The cutaway gags. The constant cutaway gags, I think, take away from the overall comedy that Family Guy's capable of. Case in point, they had, back when they did really good political humor, and they attacked everybody back then. They attacked everyone, left, right, intermediate. They didn't care. Nowadays, they seem to be pulled back on that a lot. I don't know if it's because they're on Fox or if political climates have changed within the writing staff. I don't know, but they pull back on a lot of things, and they don't talk about it like they used to. South Park still does. South Park still talks about it on both sides. They point out the absurdity and the bullshit on both sides. One television show that did absurdist comedy, so quick that you could. It was select episodes of The Simpsons.
Yes.
The monorail epised. I think.
Yes, the monorail.
Rapid fire. Just jokes fired at you. Like for instance, when there's that hole in the ground and that popcorn and that corn transportation truck falls in and the hole fills up with popcorn. It explodes and the hole fills up with popcorn. Some of the funniest stuff you'll ever see.
Like, wait, what? And it's gone.
Yeah, it's so quick you can't you catch a lot of it.
Yeah,
but it requires multiple viewings, just like Edgar Wright's films. Edgar Wright's films it requires multiple viewings, and when you watch it again, you've already registered
something a little different.
Yeah, you've already registered the things that you acknowledge were funny, and you look for other things, and you see. Multi-layering like that when it's done and you know what an interesting thing about that one episode is? You know who wrote it? Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, he did work on The Simpsons, didn't he?
Conan O'Brien wrote that episode, and it's considered to be one of the best.
Conan's a funny man.
Oh, he is. He's hilarious. So there's a reason why he's still got his own TV. He's got his TV show. As a matter of fact, people were so pissed about the whole Tonight Show debacle.
Oh, man.
That people were just like, you know what? I'm with Conan. I'm with Coco.
Yeah.
I'm going wherever he goes. And there's a reason why Jay Leno was only back for a little while.
Yeah.
And it's just like, maybe I made a mistake coming back. Yeah, maybe I made a mistake. Yeah, and he did. But yeah, we're here
Well,
on talking
but-
about Conan O'Brien.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but this is how things progress. You
Yeah.
know, we talk about the nature of humor.
Yes, we do.
But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those fascinating things, and hopefully, since this seems to be a little bit more action oriented,
yeah.
maybe this will catch American audiences better.
Maybe it will.
I hope so, because I mean, Edgar Wright's a damn fine filmmaker, and oh god, I would have loved to have seen his Ant-Man movie.
Oh man, me too.
Oh,
And okay, and here's another thing too. They're throwing a lot of stars at you in this as well.
Yes,
You've got Kevin Spacey, John Hamm, Jamie Foxx. You've got Ansel Elgort. You've
John
got
Barenthal.
John Barenthal. You've got a lot of
like,
really good
you
actors coming at you.
You just run down the list, and you're like, wait a
Wow.
minute.
And here's the thing: actors will take pay cuts to work with great directors.
And I mean, if there's a project that they're like, I have to be in this.
yes, you see, for some actors, it's all about the money. For real actors, you know, the actors who are in this
Who actually,
who
care
actually
about the craft.
care about the craft. It's about the part. It's about the movie. It's about the project. They put the project before themselves, and they wish to make the project better by giving it their all, versus someone who's here because it's a paycheck.
And I mean, if you, well, okay, so I've got two cases like that, and I don't mean to say that either of these people are or are not quote unquote real actors. Stargate. James Spader did that movie because he thought it was going to be so bad that he would never have to do a sequel. It's true.
That's funny. That's funny.
And then you look at, and it's a very recent film, The Force Awakens. The stormtrooper that comes in that Rey does the Jedi mind trick
That's
on
right.
is played by Daniel Craig.
And he did it solely because it was Star Wars.
And he did it because it's like, this is Star Wars. I want in.
And it's just like Simon Pegg. Simon Pegg played a lot of the animatronic, did a lot of animatronic puppetry and like characters in the background just so he could be part of this film.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the love.
I mean,
and
I don't
the
even
dedication
like.
towards
I
projects like that.
halfway wonder if Daniel Craig even got paid for that bit.
Maybe not. I don't think he cared.
I don't know. See, that's the thing. He probably didn't care because he wanted to be part of it.
Yeah, I don't think he cared.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I don't know one way or the other. I'm not going to make any claims on whether or not he was paid for that, but I mean, you can see the differences there.
100%.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
But yeah, I really want to see Baby Driver.
I do as well.
Really glad it's not another Boss Baby or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'm glad I was wrong about what the title meant.
Yeah, title's misleading, but that's Edgar Wright. I mean,
and this movie looks fantastic.
Yes, it does.
And honestly, like Kevin Spacey as kind of like the maybe kind of bad guy. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
especially with like after The Usual Suspects. Oh,
I wonder if like when people are asking Kevin, will you be comfortable playing a villain?
Kevin
and he
Spacey's
goes like, I'm Kaiser Soze, bitch.
It's true. It's true. And he was
John Doe, another one of my favorite villains.
And he was the one high point in Superman Returns.
He was a great Luthor.
Lex Luthor.
He was a great Lex Luthor.
Fantastic Lex Luthor.
Yeah. I thought he was really good.
Yeah, and I mean, if you've watched that movie, first off, I'm sorry. Secondly, you can tell in that he's just like, this movie's awful. I'm going to have as much fun as I can.
And he hams it up to a good degree.
Yeah, no, it's like, come on, let me hear you say it just once. You're never going to get away with no, not that one.
Say it.
No, the other
The
thing.
other one.
Superman will rock. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Kevin Smith has probably the best rebut against Superman Returns. He talks about Lex Luthor in the comic books. He's much more pimp in the comic books, because he does big businesses dirty. Instead, in this, it's I got a real estate scam.
Well, the real estate scam was more in line with not necessarily the comics Lex Luthor, but the previous Superman movies Lex Luthor.
Yeah,
because like that Lex Luthor felt very con artisty, very
versus maniacal, egotistic, super smart villain.
Well, but I mean, another thing about Lex, look at where we are. Look at what we're doing.
Oh my God. We are 25 minutes in right now to this recording.
And we're on a trailer
that has 2 minutes long.
That is 2 minutes long. And now we're talking about Lex Luthor. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Jesus.
Ooh.